Do this?
Oh, everything in here. I had a commercial construction company here for 4 months. These weigh over 100 pounds each. I had to get metal to hold them up. I hired the same artist to do this famous thing right here. These are actually closets.
Did you do anything for the floor?
The floor I didn't do much. I have a closet in here.
Because your floor is low and because you got the heavy stuff.
I wasn't worried about that supporting on the walls.
Okay.
Oh, I remember when they just started.
Great.
Well, yeah.
Like that.
I know.
It's
I
like,
recognize them from our house.
Yeah. So I had a custom desk made. If you look on the side, you can see Hot Wheels put it on. Yeah. I told the architect, I said, if I was president of Mattel in 1970, what would my office look like?
Yeah.
And so this is what he came up with.
That's the coolest. So this is a different. Miles.
Miles, come on in.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So what I have here is I'll show you
Guys, pay attention.
what I try to do. In this room, without you knowing it, is over 3,000 Hot Wheels. So let me show you where they're all hidden. You ready?
Yeah.
See these drawers right here?
Oh yeah, they're like all stacked.
This is all from
Whoa.
the 19... I don't collect these that much, even though I have over 1,000 of them. I visited Mattel employees, and they said, if you're going to buy my collection, you got to buy everything.
Okay.
So I bought them all. So
You
this
went
is...
to visit Mattel employees.
Oh yeah, in
all over
California.
the
I've
US.
done many
This is
trips.
what collectors do, man.
Yeah, we go crazy.
How
So
do
just give you
have
an
the
idea.
time.
And I
guess
work
because your
full
kids
time.
are. I know your kids are.
No, I
gone.
work full time. I just take weekend. I'll leave on a Friday night and go to California. Come back Sunday night.
I think I have that
Miles-
one. I
wait,
think I have
which
the
A lot of
possible.
these look familiar.
or the green
These
one
are all
maybe.
from the most of these are from the 1980s.
Do you have them organized by year or by collection?
Well, definitely by eras. So
Okay.
Oh, that's a cool Rolls Royce that or whatever.
yeah, and then I'll show you one more drawer just to give you an idea how filled up these are.
Jeez.
And then
Whoa.
look at these older stock.
Whoa.
God, that's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
so each one of these holds. These are all custom made. 120 cars, 10 rows, 1,200 cars here. Over 1,000 cars right there. That's 2,200. Another 500 there, and then in these, this old
In the
toolkit. These are packages from. These are the ones you never touch.
Yeah,
These are
definitely.
from 1970. Incredibly mint cars. A man called me once and said, "I have 980 packages. These are all really valuable." And I went out, and he was in like Utah. I flew out there, and we made a big deal. His father owned a gas station, and Mattel had a premium in 1970. If you filled up the gas station for 69 cents, you get a Hot Wheel. So his father just saved 4 or 5 boxes. So I just bought the entire collection, and that's why each one
And
of
that's
these
what makes
cars.
these special because you could only get them at that time in that place.
Well, you could have bought them anywhere, but because they were never touched, you see how this package looks like it's just from the store?
Yeah.
And like
Never-
because of the color, a little car like that's worth $700. You know what I mean? Just
Exactly.
because it's in mint condition. I sold one of these for over 1,000 on eBay. So you can just imagine me buying. I got reds, purples.
Is it hard for you to like sell?
No, because I have so many. You know what I mean? And it's like recycling. So here's an example of one of the most popular cars in the world called Beach Bombs.
Oh yeah.
And you can see
Yeah.
I have like 20 of them in mint condition. So this gives you an idea of packaged cars, and I'll explain to you loose cars.
Yeah.
And now I'll show you some of the coolest items I have, what my passion is.
This is unbelievable. You're so great to let us see this.
I know.
So now I'm going to show you some of
Enough.
the rarest
Miles,
Hot
come here.
Wheels.
Come
I'm
here.
going to show you a
I
Hot
know.
Wheel, the rarest Hot Wheel in the world.
Oh, it's the beach one?
Well, that one's
Is it in the
downstairs.
world or the rarest that you have?
Well, then most of these are in the world.
Okay.
So this little car right here, look how it shines like a Christmas ornament.
It does.
The reason was, have you ever been to McDonald's in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you noticed on the wall, they have a picture of a hamburger. And it's always beautiful. The pickle's perfect, the lettuce is perfect. You order it and it comes crunched and it never looks like the
Okay,
model,
what?
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's because they would have professional photographers probably spritzing and spraying the hamburger, making it look good, etc. So Mattel decided for the catalogs, they needed some cars to shine like Christmas ornaments. So this car was stripped, dipped into chrome, painted by hand, and it's stunning. It literally could be on a Christmas. There's only about 4 of these known, like, and this is one of the best conditioned ones.
And that's how it came in a container
But
like that?
no, it came loose, but I store them in acid-free paper inside because this is so valuable. And then
Why would they come loose? Like, why was there a time when
because
they came loose?
prototypes, they were just made in the factories.
So
Examples.
they weren't for sale.
They were never for sale.
Gotcha.
Here's
So
another
all
one.
these loose ones were never for sale?
No, they were all for sale
Okay.
on that side. This drawer was prototype. So you see
Okay.
this car right here?
Yeah.
Once again, it's
Another, it's
just,
super shiny.
another super shiny. These were the ones used for TV commercials, and I have several of them. And then once in a while, I'd get one where an employee never painted it.
That's
This
so
was
cool.
a recent auction
Whoa.
of somebody whose husband worked for Mattel and kept these in a drawer for like 50 years and sold his whole collection for like $50,000. I was able to only get one car in the auction.
Oh my God! How come Mattel employees had so many cars?
Well, they were not supposed to have the cars because they were searched every day. But it was well known they would take their lunch boxes. Remember lunch boxes in the old days with your thermos?
Yeah.
It was well
Oh,
known
they-
that they
they
would
have
stick in a Hot Wheel and steal it once in a while. They had no idea it would become valuable. one day.
Right, but
So,
they just
they did.
They loved the cars.
They did. And I go after really, really unusual, rare cars. Unpainted cars, cars never made in certain colors, cars that were used for auction catalogs.
And like now you know, so like you know what you're missing.
Sure,
Or you know
I know
okay.
pretty much what I'm missing,
Okay.
which is still a lot. Like, for example, this is the thing that makes
Look at
collectors.
those Ferraris. Oh my god.
See, this Ferrari normally has a black interior,
Yeah.
and it's worth like, $70. The white interior makes it worth over $1,000.
So it's a variant.
There's a variant, and there's only one known in the world that was an aqua with a white interior, and that's it.
Whoa.
So I go after the rare items,
And do you put out a request like this is what I want?
No,
This
I
is-
just everybody
You
knows.
keep
You just
searching?
you keep searching.
And are you in competition with any of your peeps on your?
It's a tough world.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you a few more rare things that nobody's ever seen. Okay, so
We are like
When Hot Wheels started-
thrilled.
when Hot Wheels started, Hot Wheels, Mr. Handler. Okay, so now you get this story.
Who's
started.
Mr. Handler?
I'm going to tell you. Mr. Handler. No, I love the excitement. Mr. Handler was married to Mrs. Handler. Ruth Handler in 1958 invented the #1 girl's toy of all time, the Barbie doll. Her husband invented the #1 boy's toy, the Hot Wheel. It was a husband and wife of Mattel. Jewish family from California, very good to Israel. 1973, secretly loaned $1 million to Israel to help them during the war. And amazing people. I got to meet them both before they passed away. And he said, look, the toy cars that were coming out at that time were made by a company called Matchbox. And they didn't have what he called playability. They weren't that fun to play with because the axles in them went slowly. So he said, let's make our cars look cooler. Let's paint them in wilder colors. Let's call it hot pants,
Yeah.
Hot Wheels, so it's cool. So the first thing he did is he went out and hired somebody that worked for General Motors, unheard of for a toy company, and said, I want to see what the Hot Wheels look like.
Oh, is there blueprints?
Well, these are the only known in the world first sketches of what he made in the 1960s.
Whoa.
So I was able to track him down and buy the original sketches. That's called a Firebird. That's called the Python. That's called the Camaro.
I love her so
Yeah.
much.
Then this is it's called the Diora, called the Silhouette. These are all the first cars ever made. The Cougar.
I can't believe my husband isn't with us.
Okay. And then here's that car I showed you that was unpainted.
Yeah.
You can see dated in 1967. They didn't come out till a year later.
How
Then-
did you convince somebody to sell you these instead of selling them to the company?
Company won't buy it because they're a big bureaucracy. He wouldn't even know who to call. And he went to an antique shop and said, I want to sell all this stuff. And they said, there's only one guy in the world who will buy it. And then boom, I made a deal and got it. Then I originally found the second artist. His name was Ira Guilford. He did the cars in 1969. He was a much better
Twin mill.
artist. Hey, good job. Twin mill. Another early version of the twin mill. Okay. You know that one?
No, I'm sure I'm gonna.
Lotus.
Oh.
I know that
You know
one.
that one?
Lamborghini of some sort?
Chaparral. These were race cars in the 1960s. Okay, do you know that one?
Red Baron?
Red Baron, you got it.
Because it's
So,
up there, but
you're right.
I'd also seen it before.
This is the only sketch in the world known of this car before it went to the factory. And then here's some other Harry Bradleys. So I have more
They're
artwork.
like beautiful. Would you ever frame them?
Well, I have done certain things, like I'm giving a talk. There's a thing called the Hot Wheels Convention. So
I want to go
1,000
to
people show up.
lovely.
So I'm going to give it to Pittsburgh
It's
this
like-
year.
They're in like California. What am I?
California once a year. And then in Pittsburgh.
It's like the collector's convention. Is that what it's called?
Absolutely.
Do you know Reese Groups?
Yeah, he passed away, the guy who ran. I knew the guy who started Race Groups. If
No,
it's the
they
same guy.
like yeah, I know. Wait, the YouTube.
Sizzlers he collected at one time. It could be a different guy.
No, Mark has.
I know Mark Casmus, soft side.
Yeah.
I know of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then another thing I try to collect, and again, if you guys collect anything, you can collect whatever you want.
They
but-
collect all kinds of things.
Yeah, I always try to get something that's slightly different. So let me give you an example. And this is the stuff that gets me really excited. What was really cool about Hot Wheels is they had beautiful packages.
Whoa.
So you look at this, and then what does Bruce Pascal say when he sees something like this?
It's like it's art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love art. I used to own an art gallery. Wouldn't I love to find that original painting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found it.
Oh my god.
So I tracked down the
How
original.
did you know it was an original painting?
Well, first of all, you can tell this is a painting. Okay, it's just the style. They didn't
Yeah.
have graphics and computers
Yeah.
in '68.
Yeah.
So I called the original art director of Mattel, and I said, "Do you have anything?" He goes, "I got a few things. Come to my house next time you're in California." So I flew out the next weekend.
Of course.
And he shows me on the wall this thing, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Because Hot Wheels made a poster of this, and they used it for artwork. So we made a deal, and I bought the original artwork. And then I found other artists who found different items, all along. So if you just peek in here, here's another example of a poster that came out later, Darren Leonhardt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got an original, I found the artist who did the pencil sketch before he did the color.
Oh my.
Then
God.
they had
Here, peek in, you
comic books, posters, all these things from 1970s, original artwork. You ever heard of Snake versus Mongoose?
I feel like I have a.
Yeah, this weekend at Barrett Jackson they sold this actual car. That's the original one that was used for a poster. Remember when we were younger we had Farrah Fawcett posters?
Of course.
At the same time, this is for kids slightly younger. They actually made a poster and probably sold millions of that. It's the original artwork for the poster. Snake and Mongoose were drag racers that raced every weekend. And then I found by Bingo and you get Hot Wheels.
So you're like also as into the art.
I love artwork. Artwork's almost impossible to find. And then I try to search for things like this is an original poster, 8 feet by 6 feet. Fill up your car with gas and get Hot Wheels from 1970. All these are
Will you
different
put
ones
them
from
up
gas
like in the
stations.
other room maybe?
I have one in my office right now at work. See these boxes, kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what Hot Wheels came in 1970. They would ship them to the stores.
Oh yeah, they're pretty similar.
Yeah.
The ones today.
They're very similar to what they have today.
Except now they have lettered cases like AKs, blah blah blah. stuff
Yep.
like that. Yeah.
So over here, what I did is because I'm obsessive compulsive, you can't figure it out now, is
About everything or just these?
pretty much everything. I took every car alphabetically by year.
Whoa.
So in 1968,
Whoa.
Beatnik Bandit, Camaro. Have you ever held an original Hot Wheel in your hand? Okay, so I'm gonna let you do that.
Oh boy, that's probably not a good idea.
That's okay, just don't drop it.
Alright, Miles, you better
So
hold
one of
it.
my favorite cars is the Corvette.
Oh my
Now,
god.
now look at it, though, how it's all metal. Look at the bottom, the top.
Yeah, now they're plastic on top.
They're much cheaper now. You want to hold them, Miles?
Sure.
Don't drop it
Okay.
now.
Drop it.
Okay, but look at the bottom, how it's all metal. You see
Yeah.
how nice they're made
Yeah.
for $1?
shit.
Oops, that was close.
Yeah. Here you go.
I got
I'll
it.
be like the safety net underneath.
You drop it.
Now, are you related to Mark Raven by any chance? Or Scott Raven? Or any of these local guys? I know some Ravens.
I don't know, I'm Rabhan, but they're
How do you spell your last name?
Rabhan.
Okay, I thought it was Raven. I wrote down the wrong one.
There are derivations.
Yeah, yeah.
There are people in the family who are Ravens. There
Okay.
are plenty of Ravens I'm not related to too, but
And where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, but my family, all the Rabhans are down south. So
Okay.
Charleston, Savannah,
Oh,
like
sure.
original.
Okay. I love all that stuff.
Yeah, like original.
Jewish community down there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've been there. I've been to the synagogues. They're great. Yeah, it could be that's how the Raven name came. You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't. We have this family story, so I have a book, so I know a lot of the people like Red Boons. Like there's some
Yeah.
people I met around here. It's not my married name. I kept my name.
Okay.
They're Jacob Steins. So I meet people from time to time.
Last name Jacob Stein?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know Jake Stein. He's a
Oh, you
big time
do?
lawyer. He's one of the best lawyers in town. Yeah.
They're all Jacob Stein, and
Yeah.
Matt Miles don't touch.
I know I'm not.
Okay. But I still bump into people from time to time, and they have the book, so I know that they're related. But then there are plenty of Ravens who
They probably were in the Civil War.
aren't.
Because I have a friend up here named Andy Felber. You know Helene Felber?
No.
Okay, Andy traced his family to part of it fought for the Civil War on the southern side, and part of it was and he was a Jewish, leader in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Cool.
so guys, I'm gonna
Did
show
you
you
grow
one
up
cool.
here, by the way?
Yeah, I'm a fourth
And that's how
generation
you know
Washington.
Stacy?
Yes, my wife, who may or may not come up, she's like, we each got our own hobbies.
Yeah,
and
it
stuff.
is. I
Yeah,
think
so
I.
this
I-
one's
I
one of the
wanna know
rarest
about this.
pieces you'll ever see. To make a Hot Wheel, you guys are the only ones who probably get to hear the story. The first thing they do is make a drawing.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing they do is by hand, they carve. So don't drop this, but I'll let you hold it.
They should be charging a lot more for those cars, right?
They should be, but they cheapen.
Miles, do not.
Do not drop this
but
one.
they don't do that anymore.
Here, I'll
right?
hold
Do
it,
they
I'll
just
hold it,
make
Miles.
them in the factory now.
Well, now they do everything by computer. In 1970, they had to carve it by hand. Now that's a Ferrari, so this is one of my nicest pieces.
That's a 288 GT.
No, this is earlier, so it's probably, I forgot the model number, but it's probably a 328. So they would carve it by hand, and then there's a machine called a pantograph. Do you know what that is?
No.
Pantograph is a machine with a series of wires that reduce something by scale.
Okay.
So if you have a real car and you draw a line on it, it does it by 1/4 scale.
Cool.
So then it creates blueprints. So I'll show you in here what a blueprint looks like.
Do you collect modern ones as well?
Nope, just older ones. Because I got it, but I have a few. So here's what a blueprint looks like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, one of you go look at a time. There's not a lot of
Well,
papers
I'll
there.
do what I'll do. I'll take one out.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it out.
Okay.
I'll take one out. So here's what a blueprint looks like. I'm running out of room, as you can tell.
I know.
Yeah.
So this is what a blueprint looks like.
Whoa.
They actually break the car in parts and they make the factory. And this is dated. This is the Sweet 16. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have an order form. So I
Yeah.
found the actual factory.
I have that one.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Not the
still make
original,
it.
but he used
I
to-
found the original factory. The guy was 80 years old, lived in Beverly Hills on the same street
He thinks
as
he was
Monica
old.
Lewinsky's parents. So I flew to California, stayed at his house. He took me to his factory, and I negotiated to buy all his paperwork from the past. So I like buying collections, and
Yeah.
then I catalog them and preserve the historical state.
Do you think you'll ever like run out of things?
Well, I'm running out of the things that I'm secretly coveting because I'm finding
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah.
But you never know when you get a phone call. Somebody called me last week with something for sale. His father worked for Mattel, tracked me down, and I made him an offer and waited for them to get back to me. There's a couple cars I'm really excited about. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So,
Do your children share the love?
no, I had 2 daughters, and
No.
I had one deal with one daughter where I'd throw in my beat up cards, and then I would throw a new card in. Let's say there's 300 cards in a bucket. I'd throw a new one in. She had the ability to tell me what car I just added.
That's neat.
It was just unbelievable.
That's
So I
neat.
tried it the other day when she came home at 19, she failed. So it was only as a kid with concentration. So look at the colors though. Aren't they fabulous?
They're totally different.
I mean, they have pinks and aquas. So, and they made pinks for girls, but the boys would beat them up.
Yeah.
So,
They're richer and they're shiny.
yep. And so up here just gives you an idea. You could buy a speedometer when you were a kid. You could do a Halloween costume and be a Hot Wheel kid. You could go to restaurants and they had Jack in the Box. They had cups with cars on them.
Oh my
You could
God.
buy model kits, back of cereal boxes, lunch boxes. You could join the club. You could win trophies. Your alarm clock would be Hot Wheel. So all these things, it really permeated. Even my trash cans. As a kid, I had, this is a new one, a Hot Wheels trash can from 1970. So it just
Whoa.
showed you how it was such a part of
Like,
culture.
yeah.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
another one that I have. It's not any of these colors, but I have
Don't
I,
touch.
I have this one.
Oh, you do? That's called a Vicky.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still make that color. They still make that color.
I know. I don't have that color. I just have like a brown, I think.
Yep.
Why do I feel like I've seen it, Miles?
I feel like I've seen. All I do is trip over them.
How many do you think you guys have?
Well, I don't know, but I know I'm a huge Camaro fan, so I have probably including, when Matchbox did the box cars and they were like $5, they're
Yeah.
like this big. I have one from like 2013 that's like a green and black striped Camaro, so including that one and another old Camaro, I probably have about 12 or 13 of them.
Really? Do you have any old ones from 1968?
Not besides the one that
Original
I
ones?
showed you, I think.
Okay,
the
yeah.
one out there.
I think
Okay, so
that's
here-
the color I
You
have.
guys have been alive, but they have. I feel like thousands.
Okay, so this car you're gonna keep. It has a broken, what we call cowl. So if something's broken, I have a standard for my collection. It has to be a certain.
Yeah.
Okay, and I bought a large collection. This came in. This is the original Camaro.
It's
It's
so
a
cool.
variation because it's got what's called tabs. Most of them don't have the tabs. So it's actually a pretty rare car. Broken cowl, and you can see the hood opens up
It's
and
so
closes.
Well, you hear the sound. They don't sound like that anymore.
No, this is pure metal.
Yeah.
These are the original wheels. This is a little detail, us collectors. Do you see how the wheels sort of cut back halfway?
Yeah.
That's only in the first year of production.
Yeah.
So this is a true 1968 car.
That's so
This
cool.
car next year will be 50 years old, and this is for you.
Oh my god, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
You're welcome. You can keep
That's
that.
so cool.
Yeah,
This
so
is
now-
in my room.
Yeah, now you have. Let me give you a. Let me see if I have a special case for it.
That's
too.
so neat.
Ooh, do I get one?
No, I don't know that anybody knew you were coming.
Okay.
Do you
Don't
like
worry.
construction cars?
Yeah, like, do you have any, like, I don't know, like,
You don't have to give him
Come on
anything.
out, I got all these are extra. Pick one of these yellow ones.
okay.
Which one do you like? I got cranes.
Wait, can I have one of, like, the army vehicles, or?
Yeah. Any of these armies, except these.
Okay, that's fine.
Which one do you want?
Or, I don't know, I think, this one.
You
Right-
got it.
Thank
Are
you.
you sure?
You got it. These are all doubles.
So
That's for you.
Is this like
This
a-
one, because it's so old, what I do is I usually put these in acid-free paper.
Yeah,
So you can
that's-
take them out.
Oh no, I'm not gonna take it out.
But this way, if you drop it,
We
you
don't
want.
fancy this is what.
There you go.
Yeah,
This is
thank you.
original
Thanks
1968.
so much.
Okay, now hold on one second. We got a couple books too.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Whoa, this is from
Just
1974,
amazing.
so
You know,
wow.
there are those shows on, oh god, I don't know what channel, not HGTV, but like where they have collectors.
Oh yeah, I've been on one of those TV shows.
Yeah,
You can Google
so-
my name, the Extreme
Stacey
Collectors,
Yes.
Bruce Pascal.
Yeah,
that
I
guy
know
came
she
to my
did.
house. That was
Oh
an
wait,
after
can I
hour
get
one.
can
No,
I get a
Miles.
paper?
Not in the desk,
Or,
Molly.
oh,
Okay,
oops.
no, you can put there. So,
Are you
so
sure?
the,
Wait,
yeah.
can I get a paper as well, like the?
Yeah, I
wrap
got
thing?
one of those too.
Okay.
Okay, so Miles, how do you spell your name?
Miles.
M-I?
Oh my god,
Les.
That's so cool.
This
Thank
is
you
your
so
book?
much.
Yeah. Now this explains
This is the coolest.
Whoa.
to Miles. Enjoy the hobby, Bruce.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Okay,
much.
how
Thank
do you spell
you.
your name?
David,
I
D-A-V-I-D.
got that down. Not too many. I signed one book and it was like a variation of a name, you know, and I was like, okay, now I gotta. What do you do with the book? You know what I mean? Okay.
Just to ask.
This is so cool. Thank you so much.
You are a
Thanks so
great
much.
collector.
What's funny is that they are both collectors of like everything.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
The whole house is
Thank you
like
so
full of
much.
collections.
Good to Gene, I think.
I
So
know.
if you read
I think
this
it's a
book,
machine.
if you read this book, you'll learn a lot about the history of Hot Wheels, and everything in the book was from my collection, you
That's
know?
so cool.
And you're one of the few people that actually get to say, here's pictures of the room. You get the picture, you get
Oh,
a
thank
picture
you
of the
so
room,
much.
so you can tell your mother you want your room to look like that one day.